I'm going to start your best practices and the folder structure, how to create a folder, how to manage them. We will discuss about those things first. Okay. So whenever any BRD comes for you, you will review it. As I said yesterday, you will analyze it from the keystroke level. You will understand everything, each and every requirement, and then before starting your project, before starting your development, you need to create some folders. It is because we need to differentiate, because for one client we will have 10 robots, 10 processes to automate. Okay, to differentiate between each and every robot, each and every process, we will create them. We will manage them by creating folders. We will place all our files, whatever the input files, output files, everything into our project only. So it will be separated. It will be like we need to separate each and every robot. So for that we will create folder structure. So how to the best practices and how to create a folder structure first. Okay. So up to here, Automation Anywhere, whenever you will install, you will get these files: my docs, my excels, my metabots, and my push tasks, reports, everything. What are the folders you are seeing? Whenever you install, you will see these folders after installing. It may be your installation location may change, but these folders will automatically get created. Okay. So inside my task, we will place all our tasks. Okay, not here. Actually, we will create some of folders over here. Inside my tasks, all our ATMX files will be there, and inside my docs, basically we will use these two and my scripts, these three folders. Okay. If there are any metabots, we will save it in the metabots, in metabot folder. Okay. This is how we follow. So in the real-time projects, you inside my tasks, you need to create two folders. One is the department. The folder name is department. Okay. For what department? They will, each and every client have his own departments. Like if it is a transactions, like cash transactions. Okay. We have anything. Let's say client like life cycle investments, reports. They have different sectors actually. For let's say credit, if you are automating any credit card facility, the department will go to credit card department. So those departments they will give you. Don't worry about the name. Okay, they will give you that which department you are going to work. That is going to be your first folder. Let's say, for example, now cash transactions, and inside that you need to create one more folder, that is your robot name. If the client if it is a huge client like UBS or Citibank or any other, they will give one ID to each and every process, robot ID. Okay. Based on that robot ID, you need to create one more folder, so that all the ATMX files regarding to that particular robot are going to be in this, all the ATMX files. Okay. Like ROB, for example, ROB 10001, like this. Like this, they will allocate one robot ID. Otherwise, you need to name it based on the process name. You can create by robot ID. It depends on the client. Actually, it varies from client to client. It depends on their COE team. They will give you what you have to create it. The folder names they will give you what you have to create actually. So don't worry about that. But we have to follow this standard procedure. Okay. And if it is a robot name, you have to give. If client is not providing any robot ID, you need to create an appropriate name based on the process. Okay. What process you are going to automate. Okay. So based on the name, instead of ROB iPhone 1001, you will create a robot name. You will assign one name to it. Okay. Yep. This is the folder structure. Inside here, we will place all our tasks, ATMX files. And then this is our first class. This is the first thing we need to do before starting any of our developments, any robot before doing. Okay, before starting you need to create these folder structures, and inside my docs also you need to create same way, but here we will get so many folders. Again the same thing, cache transactions. This is going to be same, first two folders, whatever you have created, this is going to be same, cache transactions, and again ROB -1001. This is going to be common. These two folders are common. This will be given by client. Okay, if they are COE team insists, you need to create these two folders. Okay, if they are not also, you need to differentiate by these two folders only. But you have that freedom to create the name and anything. If they are not providing any names for you, yes, you need to create it on your own. Okay, inside my docs, you need to create some folders. The first one is config file, config folder. Okay, inside this config folder, we will save our XML file, our configuration file. To eliminate all the hard coding, we will create one configuration file, XML file, and we will store it over here. Okay. If as much as how many we can create any number of XML files, the thing is you need to store it here. Basically, we will follow one configuration file. Okay. If it contains any like login details, we will place one configuration file with login details. One more, we will create one more XML file with name credentials.xml, and inside that we will decrypt it. Actually, it is a decrypted file, if possible. So in some clients, they will store those credentials in a secured way, like our Windows Credential Manager. They will store it over there. Okay, instead of configuration file, that can be easily decrypted, encrypted, decrypted. Anybody can decrypt and encrypt. If they don't want to, if it is a secured application, they will store it inside our Windows Credential Manager, or we have a separate certificate where it will store our credentials, like TPAM. We have a TPAM certificate where it will store all the credentials. Even you as a developer, you also don't know what are the credentials unless until you will place a message box while reading it. If you place, definitely we need a variable to store that credentials, right? After they stored in the TPAM or in the credential manager or in the configuration file. Okay, we are extracting it from there. Okay, once it is extracted, definitely it needs to come to a variable only. We need to assign it to a variable only. Then only we will provide that. We will clone that particular user ID and password text boxes, and we will place one variable over there. If you place one message box, definitely you will get to know what is the password, but that is not our case. Just leave it. Okay. Next folder is logs. Okay. Here we will store all our log files. Whatever the log files we are generating, it may be for day-to-day basis, or it may be record-to-record basis, or it may be monthly. Anything for robot to differentiate, we will store it over here. You can create any type of, if you want one log file for full robot, whenever it runs, if you want to, like for example, if you see in our AI will also generate system generated logs. That means we will not create, but if you see this folder log files, whenever you will create any task, based on the task, it will log it, whether it is successfully run or not. These are system logs. If you got any error, it will give you error. If there is no error, no error. This is system generated log. Like that, based on our robo, for our robo, we will create our own log files. Okay, so we will place it in that log folder. My docs, cache transaction, ROB, and logs. So inside logs, again one more folder where we will create inside logs. Just remember, inside logs, snapshot. So whenever there is any error occurs during robot run, we will take the snapshot of our desktop. If it is a secured application, they will block our screen capturing, but if not, we can capture our screen, so that we can analyze what error has occurred whether it is the application failure or it is the web application failed to load within the specified time, whatever we have given our delay. Let's say you have provided 30 seconds or 40 seconds of delay to load that application, but it is failed to load in that specific time. So we will take a screenshot. If there is any error, you will just take the screenshot of that, so that it will be easy for you by seeing it itself, by seeing that screenshot. Okay, what is there on the screen actually? Because in the development phase we will be looking at it. If you get error, you will fix it. But in the UAT and production environments, we are not going to see our robot, how it is performing anything. One robot operator will test it. You don't know what is happening actually. They will test it in the US. You have developed in India. So they will just, if you ask them to, if there is any error, definitely they will percentage our robot based on whatever they have tested test results. They will give you. So let's say for example, the analyst tested for 10 records, out of which 7 are passed and 3 are failed. He will give you percentage, pass percentage, he will give you 70%, and failure percentage is 30. And these are the test scenarios where it is failed. Everything he will give you a report. So if you ask them, just give me that screenshots and log files, I will analyze and I will fix these 3 test cases also. Something I may missed, some scenario I am missing, I think I need to code it. Okay, you will get those screenshots and you will see again according to your requirements, you will code it. What has actually happened? If it is a network failure, definitely you will tell them, yes, at that time there is a network failure. You have to give a reason for that, why it is failed. Okay, for that, to analyze that, you need to have these screenshots and log files, most important one. And one more thing is input file. Input, where you will store your input files. If there is any input file, you have to store it over here, like Excel or CSV, anything. Sometimes input file may be in the shared path, so you have to copy all your files. Let's say a client will place their Excel sheet or CSV or PDFs in the shared path. You have to extract that. You have to get all those files from shared path to your local machine. Okay, you will get it from there and you will paste over here in the input file. Okay, if you are generating any output file, if you are generating any output files, or if you are any output file, if it is a text file, or let's say you have any requirement, you need to create one more folder. Based on the requirements, you can change as many as you want. There is no restriction here. Inside docs, you can create, you can differentiate. Okay, these are the 3 basic ones. And one more thing is temp. If you are generating any output file, you can create, you have to create, otherwise just leave it. Temp folder and the output folders. Output is to store output, and the temp folder is to store our temporary files. These temporary files are generated during RoboRun and are deleted during RoboRun only. Let's say you have a table. For example, in an application you have a table and you are converting that to a CSV file. You are converting that CSV file to the table to a CSV. Okay, it's a temporary file. During RoboRun you will use it and you will delete it once it is completed processing your. So you will store it in the temp folder. Whatever the temporary files, you have to store it here and just delete it after once it is completed processing that particular. So this is the basic folder structure. Sometimes we will place our scripts here only if required. Some clients are telling that just don't create any other folders. Okay, just place your folders inside scripts. So you need to create one scripts folder, otherwise just leave it. Okay, if they are not telling anything, you can place it over here. Again, same thing. If you don't have any restrictions, okay, then you have to create the same first two folders, cache transaction and the robot ID or robot name. Anything you have to create here. Okay, inside only you can place. Inside that you can place your scripts. This is because we have one developer like this. Why? Because we have one developer over here. We are developing one process. Like that, in one company there are so many processes, so many developers. So to differentiate between each process from one process to other, you have to follow this. Once you upload, the control room will automatically create all the folders whatever you have created. So to do for when we are going to deploy, you will, by seeing the folder structure, you the NLS will identify which robot, the robot operator, control room admin will identify, okay, this is the process, these are all the folders, okay, these files are for that robot, like that. Okay, to differentiate, that's it, simple reason is to differentiate between each and every process, to and for the deployment purpose. While deploying, they will deploy only your files. Okay, as a developer, it is your duty to deploy the task successfully, because you are going to, once it is moving to UAT, definitely you are going to test it, mock test on robot. They will place one input folder, whatever you said. Once the deployment completed, if it is successfully run, yes, the deployment is successfully. Then the analyst, the tester will take care. He will test all the UAT test cases. Okay. So to differentiate, we need to follow these folders. Definitely, this is one of the practices. So whatever the projects we are going to do, 2, 3, 4, 5, you need to follow this. For it to you have to differentiate each and everything. Okay. Any questions regarding folder structure?